Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to some more World of Warships. Trying my first narrated video today. I have posted some videos of me playing, but nothing of me narrating anything yet. And I think this is a great game to narrate because it features one of my favorite ships in the entire game, the IJN Fuso. I am primarily a battleship player, and the Fuso is just great. I love that it has 12 guns. The guns are accurate. They're decent caliber for tier 6. I mean, they're nothing special, but they are good caliber. And the Fuso is a great ship. It is probably the best cruiser killer, in my opinion, in the game. I mean, you can delete just about any cruiser with the Fuso at any range. So the Ark Royal pops up here, and I have the range, and you get lucky on one of those CBs and you can do huge damage, so I take the shot. And one knock I have on the Fuso is just that those shells take forever to travel to their target. If you look at here, if that Ark Royal had continued to sail broadside, that would have been a real good salvo, but instead, all I get is one overpen. And essentially worth nothing. Guns reload. He's still detected. We'll try it. And now we wait. One huge knock I talked about having a knock on the shell travel speed in the Fuso, but I also am not a huge fan of the armor. So you'll see in this game, I'm going to try to angle as best as I can to any and everybody, because I really do not want to take armor-piercing damage in the Fuso. Your Citadel sits above the waterline, and it's not a turtle bag or anything. You're just going to take huge AP damage if you give broadside to enemy battleships. Here's the Nuremberg.
Enemy destroyer detected.
I like his angle. Like he can't turn into the island, so I'm going to take a try. And we got him.
Enemy severely
One Citadel,
damaged.
one overpen, 2 ricochets, 11,000 damage. Now at this point I'm going to start reversing because I feel pretty comfortable at this distance. I'm not going to shoot the Velicki here, just simply because, from my experience, the Fuso's guns against battleships are pretty terrible, unless you're within probably 12 kilometers, I would say, is the threshold. Lit on fire, thanks to that Normandy over there, who's firing high explosive. Which, will come into play later in the game, I'm sure you'll see. So I'm eyeing up my targets at this point. Pensacola's hiding behind that island. Normandy still kiting, firing HE. Now, one target I'm going to consider here is the Velicki. In fact, I was very close to firing here, but with the size of the Fuso's guns and at that range, I felt it wasn't even really worth it to shoot at the Velicki. One thing you'll notice in my battle squad is I do not spam. I pick my targets very deliberately, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Here's the Pensacola, sailing broadside. Shots out. The other thing I like about the Pensacola as a target here is that it's more in the game. It's closer to that decap, which we're trying to cap right now, and could cause problems for our Nicholas there. I don't know about you, but I really felt like I was robbed by RNG right there, because that was a good shot. And I feel like I probably should have had a deletion there, my first kill of the game. But that Pensacola isn't out of the woods yet. Enemy Nuremberg. 16 kilometers. Semi-broadside to the Fuso. Probably not a good idea, but he gets lucky. I miscalculated the shot, and I believe I was off his bow, which would explain the one overpen. Velicki going for a YOLO rush out from behind the island.
Enemy destroyer detected. Enemy battleship detected.
I just want to make sure he gets finished off, shots out, and looks like the Dallas is going to beat me to it. That's alright though. And at this point, I'm going to turn outside of this island just simply because I want to be able to get all my guns on the Nuremberg and the Pensacola. And I can also get all my guns on the Furtaka if I want. Now, some people may question my decision here to shoot at the Furtaka. But like I said earlier with the Pensacola, I thought the Furtaka was more of a threat to our decap than was the Pensacola, the Nuremberg, and the other Pensacola. So I took my shot. And I was either off his bow or off his stern because I had 2 overheads on that shot. And here's where this battle is going to get interesting. Pensacola goes undetected, considering a shot at the Normandy.
Enemy destroyer
Here
sighted.
come shots from the Pensacola.
Enemy cruiser detected.
He's got 2,000 health left.
Battleship detected.
Shots on their way, and gone.
Enemy cruiser
So at this point,
foundered.
a lot of people would think it's a good idea to push into that decap. I like not to here, simply because of the ship differential. We're down 5 ships, and they're down 2 ships, so we need to even the odds. And I feel confident enough in my skills with the Fuso, and especially because that Normandy is firing HE at me and I'm outside, that I can do big damage to their fleet here. So I go full acceleration. There's the Nuremberg, 15 kilometers.
Enemy cruiser
I try to
sighted.
lead him, but he runs into the side of the map. So, unfortunately, these shots are going to be off of his bow. And I'm trying to vary my course a bit, just in case that Normandy does all of a sudden decide to fire AP, I don't get entirely destroyed. Because, as I said earlier, the Fuso's armor and its citadel are very exposed and can take massive damage from battleship armor. Here's Pensacola. The other Pensacola, I guess.
Battleship detected.
The ship is on fire!
There goes shots out, and he does angle good at the last second, so I do get 3 pens, but they're really nothing much. 5,000 damage. Broadside from Normandy, he's still firing high explosive. At this point, I turn the guns, because I think that Furtaka might be just capping D, though I can't tell. As I zoom in, I realize it's not the case, and I ignore the Furtaka from there, essentially. Unless he decides to give me a wide broadside. That Normandy's gonna angle in. And oh, look at that. That Nuremberg is making an awfully big mistake. Shots out. And RNG says yes.
We've destroyed
2
an
hits to
enemy
the Citadel.
cruiser.
Devastating strike.
The ship is on
So at this
fire!
point, my decision is I'm going to turn in, try to brawl this Normandy and this Pensacola. Now, normally I wouldn't do that in Fuso, but simply because that Normandy is still firing high explosive, I feel confident enough to where I can actually give this a shot. I was not patient enough for this shot at Pensacola. It was a good shot, but it was all superstructured. If I had waited for him to turn broadside, I could have totally deleted him right there, but I unfortunately made a bit of a mistake, and I will not get the deletion there. Now at this point I'm getting pretty upset because our BBs are all sitting back there behind the B cap, while I'm down here dueling alone against... There's 4 enemy ships within 12 kilometers of me. So I'm considering about taking a shot at that Normandy, but I'm pretty sure I can't overmatch him. So I'm just gonna hold my fire, because I don't even think it's worth it at this point. I'll wait till he comes around this island, and see what I can do. The Queen Elizabeth, however, is broadside. So I'm gonna take shots at her. And great dispersion. Big damage on the Queenie.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Now, if Normandy, still firing high explosive, decides he's going to come around this island and give wide open broadside to a Fuso at 2.5 kilometers. And how do we think this is going to turn out for the Normandy? citadels,
Enemy
no
battleship
detonation,
foundered.
just 11 pens, massive damage. So I see that Pensacola coming around. And I know he's trying to sneak attack me. So what I'm gonna do is go full reverse and oh crap. There's a destroyer right in my face. And in hindsight, I probably should have angled better against these torps, which are coming. There they are right there. But I thought perhaps I could still stay alive and shot with Pensacola. Oh, there he is.
We're hold below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
And down he goes. 4th kill of the match.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
9,000 damage to the Citadel.
Problem solved, sir.
And now the destroyer's running, because he knows he's my next target. So I go full acceleration. I realize I basically got one shot at this, because it's either the destroyer or it's the Queenie who's gonna get me. I'm sure at this point the Nicholas is getting ready to launch his torps. There he goes right there. As he turns, the shots are out, and unfortunately, RNG said no again, and he's left with 830 health. That would have been a Kraken had I gotten him. His torps are undoubtedly launched at this point. And Queenie shots are coming in, and oh no. There we go. Still a great game. As you can see, we completely turned around that ship differential. It is now 5 ships we have compared to the 3 ships that they have. And the ships that they have are in terrible positions. They're all at the back of the map, and our BBs are finally going to push. And yes, it was fun. I'll say that wide open. And that's actually the enemy there is the Pensacola that I killed when he came around the island. And just a great game. I mean, it shows how, you know, you can take advantage of people making mistakes sometimes. And there were a lot of enemies in this battle that made mistakes. I did not honestly play all that great. This was just me taking advantage of a lot of mistakes. And this guy does not think very highly of his Normandy, firing high explosive and coming around broadside at point-blank range. So 2969 XP, devastating strike, 4 kills, 5 hits to the Citadel, 4 secondary battery hits, and 53 target hits overall. 95, 117 damage. Quite the game.